But I began to appreciate something about the United States. So, people came to the United States. And I don't know, often you hear, well, they came, I don't know, they wanted freedom from other nations or whatever. But actually, if you look it up, why did most of the original people come to this country? From religious persecution. Most of the countries in the world, England, France, they all had state religions that were controlled by the king or queen or the pope. And there were people who wanted to worship God and follow the Bible and the scriptures. So I was like, hey, I want to see what these early Christians believed that came to our country. And I'm looking at what they believed, and I'm like, they were Alliance. They were Christian Missionary Alliance people. They were born again, and they wanted to follow the scripture the way it was written and to worship God and to raise their kids in a church that could follow the scripture, and they weren't being told by the state what they had to believe and weren't being persecuted and weren't being arrested and all that stuff. And most of that 2 million people that started our nation were born again, on fire Christians. You don't hear about this anymore. Now, I know there was people came that eventually came for money and land and all that stuff. But most of the early people came because they were believers who wanted to worship God and follow the scripture. And I just have a new appreciation. And they were heavily influencing the Constitution of our United States to have the freedom of worship, and that the government couldn't step in and start telling you what you had to believe or not believe. And so I really came to appreciate how many born-again Christians there were in that 2 million. Now, obviously, that has completely changed 250 years later.